Loveboy. That's what they whispered in the forgotten corners of the city, a name clinging to the damp brick and echoing in the hollow spaces between the skyscrapers that had sprung up like metallic weeds around him. He was Elias, but the city had known him by other names through other eras. Loveboy was the one that stuck from the brief, shimmering years when his wings, magnificent spans of stained glass hues, were not a secret shame, but a fleeting spectacle. Now, in the relentless churn of the 21st century, Loveboy felt the weight of ages settle upon his tall frame. His skin, the color of deep night, bore no outward mark of his true age, but the weariness resided in the knowing gaze of his dark eyes. He'd arrived in New York in '89, a time of crackling energy and raw edges, and planted roots in a neighborhood that had since been scrubbed clean and gentrified into something both familiar and alien. He'd watched the block become the gallery, the bodega become the artisanal cheese shop. He'd seen faces come and go, stories begin and abruptly end. This longevity, this constant witnessing of fleeting moments, sometimes made him feel like a phantom limb, a relic in a world that had long since moved on, leaving him stranded in its wake. The butterfly wings, usually tucked invisibly against his spine, felt heavier with each passing year. They were a reminder of a different time, a different self. A self that had dared to be seen, to be wondrous. Now they were a burden, a secret that set him apart in a world obsessed with the new, the streamlined, the ordinary. The city, once his playground, now felt like a relentless tide pulling him under. Sadness, a deep and viscous current, would sometimes threaten to drown him in the quiet solitude of his aging brownstone. Yet amidst the encroaching shadows of obsolescence, a stubborn ember of gratitude refused to be extinguished. He still found solace in the warmth of old friendships, the comforting rhythm of his own breathing during his morning walks through Central Park, the unexpected beauty in a shaft of sunlight hitting a rain-slicked street. Life, he knew, was a borrowed breath, a fragile dance, and even in its relentless march forward, there were moments of exquisite stillness. He often pondered the words of Thurgood Marshall, a man who had navigated his own tumultuous era with unwavering conviction. The question of happiness, of its true measure, resonated deeply. Was the long life of a celebrated senator truly worth more than the brief, radiant joy of a child who knew only a few months of existence? The question haunted Loveboy, especially when he looked at the young faces he encountered. Faces glued to glowing screens, chasing ephemeral trends. What was the value they placed on their fleeting time? What kind of happiness were they chasing in this accelerating world? Young people sensing a depth in his quiet demeanor, a stillness in his eyes that belied the city's frenetic energy, would sometimes approach him. They'd ask about the old days, about the worth of possessions that seemed to vanish as quickly as